Hi, this is Becky with Icing on Top Becky's Cakes, and today we are going to make this super fun 3D ice cream cone cake. And it stands 17 inches tall, and it's just absolutely so much fun. And I made it for my daughter's 3-year-old birthday, and yeah, so I'm very excited to share this one with you because I love fun cakes. Who doesn't love a fun cake? So anyway, first we're going to start by getting out our cake form. And if you don't have a cake form, this one was about $15 on Amazon. And it's really nice because they have movable plates. This whole thing, the whole rod up the center fits together like Legos almost, only round. I don't know. But anyway, I also need my cardboard 6-inch cake round that I'm going to use for the cakes, and I'm going to put it right on the plate that I choose. And they have different little holes because there's different spots on the cake round that I can choose to place this. Now, if you're thinking you're going to be traveling with this, this isn't the most sturdy thing to be able to move this. This cake wasn't going too much farther than the table, so you might want to build your own structure if you were going to be traveling or moving with it, or you want to assemble on site, at least putting the ice cream part of this on site. But anyway, let's get started. I'm putting a little bit of shortening all over my gloves, and that is so that the Rice Krispie treats do not stick to me, but they stick to the pole that I'm going to put this on. So I've made up some Rice Krispie treats. And first, after I get the shortening all over my gloves, I'm going to go ahead and put melted marshmallow on the pole itself so that the Rice Krispie treats will stick to it. So I'm going to grab that melted marshmallow. I just stuck it in the microwave for a little while, and I'm just going to stick it right on here. Now the Rice Krispie treats, I got this recipe from Sugar Geeks, and she has some great recipes. And this one is for carving for cakes and stuff, so it's just 1 part Rice Krispies, 1 part marshmallows, and then a little bit of candy melts to help firm it up. So her exact recipe was 8 ounces Rice Krispies, 8 ounces melted marshmallows, and what you do is you stick them in the microwave for 30 seconds, stir them, stick them back in, stir them until they're like this kind of consistency right here. And then you mix in the Rice Krispies right into that, and then you put in 2 ounces of the melted chocolates, the candy melts, and you melt those at 30 seconds at a time too until those are melted. Then you add that to this mix and you mix it together, and then you have this Rice Krispie treats. And they're really great because it made it super firm and made carving, which I did later, a breeze. But this whole thing you're doing the day before the cake part because you want this to be able to sit overnight in the fridge and firm up before you start carving. So here's my big bowl. I did overkill. I made way more than I need to. I definitely used a lot more than 8 ounces. I think I got like a family pack of Rice Krispies. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get lots of Rice Krispies and we're gonna do this. So guess what my family was eating? Yeah, we were eating Rice Krispie treats for a couple of days. Okay, yeah, I have 4 kids, so it was only a couple days, but you know, still, this makes a lot of Rice Krispies, and you don't need the big family pack. About half that, yeah. Anyway, I'm pressing it right in to the marshmallow on the stick. I'm just squeezing it in there, and then I'm just going to keep building from there. I'm going to keep building out, and the shape I'm obviously going for is a waffle cone. So that is the shape I'm going for, and I know that the top has to be the size of a 6-inch cake circle because that's the size of the cake that I'm putting on top. So I know I have to get it that big, so periodically I'm just going to measure with that 6-inch cardboard circle that I have, and that'll make sure that I keep it the right size. So now we got about this size, so just keep building till you get about this size and you see that the cake inch circle is going to fit on there because we are going to trim a whole lot of that off. Then I'm just going to cover it all up with saran wrap and stick it in the fridge overnight. Voila! The next day, here we go. We're going to start carving this. And so, yeah, I just carved it into the shape of a waffle cone. Made sure the top stayed that 6-inch size and just angled it in. Just keep angling it in there. And we're going to cover this whole thing with ganache. And okay, so this ganache, what I did was I took a bag, 11-ounce bag of white chocolate chips, and then half a bag, half of an 11-ounce bag of regular chocolate chips. And then I melted in the microwave for 30 seconds till it was warm, but obviously not all the way melted. And then I got some water that was simmering and I added about 4 ounces of water to that. So that was like a 1-to-4 ratio. And then I added a drop of orange food coloring, gel food coloring. And so that gave me a little closer to the look that I was going for because I wanted that little orange in there like a waffle cone would have. And so now I'm just scraping this and shaping it, the chocolate right on. And I love these little bendable, if you have any of these little bendable scrapers. A lot of times when I'm doing a straight edge cake, I just like my bench scraper. So I want something firm and straight. But I want the bendable ones whenever I'm doing something round, so they really come in handy. And if you don't have one of these bendable ones, a little cheat that you can do is get a Ziploc bag, because Ziploc bags bend. Now I'm kind of marking off like the fold that comes in a waffle cone. And then I'm pressing in this pattern. This is just a cake press, which is a pattern that you can just press right into cakes and stuff, but I'm pressing it right into the chocolate. But I should mention, before you press, chill it. Chill the chocolate for 20 minutes. Make sure that otherwise it's going to come right off onto the cake press. So yes, this is me doing this after I chilled it for 20 minutes. Now I'm going to add some buttercream to that 6-inch cake circle and put my dome right on there, and I'm going to frost this. So this was the Wilton's 6-inch cake ball, right? I made 3 of them because I have 3 scoops of ice cream. So there's 3 of these half dome shapes. So we're just going to go ahead and smooth all that buttercream on. And again, I'm going to use that flexi cake smoother. What do they call these? I don't even know. But yeah, this flexible one, because you want it to curve with your cake. So the ones that curve, get those ones. Yeah. Once we get it completely smooth, I'm going to take it off of this with my bench scraper and stick it on my cardboard cake circle, a different cardboard, the larger one, so that it's easier to scoop off. And then I'm going to place it in the freezer for 30 minutes because I need it firm, because I'm going to have to pick up this cake and stick it on top. And I know my hands are going to be on it, so it needs to have that buttercream pretty firm. So I'm sticking it in the freezer for 30 minutes. Now this one, I am scooping out the innards of my other cake ones so that it'll fit right on top of the last one. You only want to scoop enough so that it sets right on the top, but don't scoop too far, otherwise you won't be able to pick it up. So it want to be enough cake, because we obviously want to eat cake, so we want to make sure there's enough cake, but yet that it's enough that it's going to sit on the next one very nicely. And I'm crumb coating it because obviously we do not want crumbs on top of our cake. So I'm going to put that in the fridge, chill it for about 20 minutes. Here I am popping it back out. I'm gonna pop it onto this cake circle, which also has saran wrap or press and seal. That's probably press and seal. And now I'm gonna frost it. Now that the bottom with the scooped out end has been frosted, chilled, now I'm gonna go ahead and scrape this until it's nice and smooth, and that'll be well, this is the vanilla one, so this is going to be on top, so this will be on top of the pink one, but I'm doing the pink one the exact same way I do the vanilla one. You scoop out the inside of the pink one, frost the pink one, frost the vanilla one, put them both in the freezer. Those are both going in for 30 minutes as well. Now we can do the cake board while we're waiting on those to chill. And I'm just gonna put buttercream all down here and just completely smooth it out. And we're gonna just layer on the sprinkles. As soon as this is all smoothed out buttercream, we're gonna press in sprinkles everywhere because we want it to feel like a party. So we're putting sprinkles everywhere, and that'll stick right to the buttercream. I'm just pressing it in with the back of my spoon, and that gives me a sprinkle carpet here. Now the moment of truth, I put the hard plastic round right down on the top of that little piece that sticks out and supports the plastic round. So this plastic round is completely supported and it's not pressing down on the Rice Krispie treats. So it's completely supported by that little piece that you add. And if you get the cake form, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a little piece that goes right into those little Lego pieces. Now I scooped off my cake with my bench scraper. And I'm using my hands, which later I'm gonna go get gloves because I realize I need to press this in. Because the only way you're gonna do it is if you handle these with your hands. That's the only way you're gonna get it on straight. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and do it with gloves. And so I got my gloves on and I pressed it down a little farther so that it stays on there. Now I'm gonna pipe a little bit of buttercream on because you want that buttercream so that right where that scooped out portion is gonna stick real good. Because buttercream is our glue, so that's fresh buttercream is always our glue. Now see this strawberry one, I'm almost losing the strawberry. Oh yeah, see how much I handle this? I'm like, where do I put my hands? But here, we got it on. And yeah, this is why we froze it, because you need it frozen in order to do this. But we're gonna press that right in to that fresh buttercream there, and now I'm gonna clean up my mistakes. But that's why I had gloves on this time, because I knew this was gonna happen. I'm like, I'm gonna have to really manhandle these pieces. So, okay, here we go. Third one. Getting more and more fun here. And so, let's see if I learn from my mistakes this time. So this time I'm gonna go straight to hands. I'm still using my bench scraper. I'm gonna try to show you a little better this time. What I do is I scoop that bench scraper right under and work it under first. That way I can remove it nicely, because you know it's hollowed out, so we want to make sure we don't break it apart when we're picking it up, because they're a lot weaker than if it had full cake all throughout it. So now I'm just going to straight to hands this time, because I need to make sure I get the top one straight. Otherwise we're in trouble. So there we go, the top one's on. We're going to press it gently onto that buttercream. That buttercream is our glue. But now we're gonna skewer all three through, and then this skewer is actually gonna go through the rod, those little Lego rods that are in the Rice Krispie treat. It's hollow, which is great. So that those three ice cream scoops are now attached to the bottom where the Lego is. Now I'm using smoothie straws. I want the smoothie straws to help anchor the three pieces of ice cream together. So the smoothie straws are what's going to anchor the ice cream all together, and that big dowel rod, big skewer, is what's anchoring all three and the cone to the same thing. But still, it's going to be a little precarious. Even with all these supports, it's still going to be precarious because it just have that rod is what's kind of holding them all together, because like I said, that skewer is going through the rod. So that's, yeah, you don't want to carry this around too much. You want to assemble this on site. Or, like I said, you can also make your own, and you know, a lot of people use wooden dowels and stuff to make their own. But I prefer buying the $15 one that is easily assembled. Okay, so now I'm just cleaning up the top and I'm gonna start piping around here. I'm using the Wilton 1M tip and I'm doing a little swoop. And that kind of gives us the little fill around the bottom of an ice cream scoop. Thought it made it look fancier, and plus it made it look more like it was ice cream. So it's just a little swoop as we go. Pipe and swoop. And that's how we're gonna pipe on the bottom. And we're gonna do that with each ice cream scoop. And we just repeat that in the pink, and then we're gonna repeat that in the chocolate. Now we're gonna add a drip by using a chocolate, and then I melted it just like I did the ganache, only this was straight up chocolate chips instead of with the white chocolate. And then we'll just pipe on a little bit for the whipped cream on top, and then we'll add sprinkles. And as a finale, we add the cherry on top. And we are done with our epic ice cream cake. This was so much fun to make. Thank you for joining me today, and please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to have my buttercream recipe, that is also on my channel. And that's Elena wanting the ice cream cake.